Alright guys, back here. I'm going to see if I can't do a little bit better job of screencasting here. Let's see. So I have here first floor. I'm going to go ahead and go out to my east elevation, and I'm going to go architecture. I'm going to add a level. I'm going to come down 10 feet from level 1 and draw that across. I'm going to come over and rename it right now, basement. And yep, I want to rename corresponding level and views. I'm now going to go ahead and add my block wall. So I am going to go to the ceiling plans of the basement because that will allow me to see that. I'm going to now go to wall, and I'm going to go ahead and remake the wall. So I'm going to start with a generic basic 8-inch wall, and I'm going to go to edit type. I'm going to go to duplicate, and I'm going to name this Spurge CMU. So that's concrete blocks. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and edit the structure. I'm going to go by category. I'm going to hit this box of periods here, and I'll search CMU, even though I'm already on it. And I'll hit that, hit OK. Now that's going to be concrete blocks 8 foot by 8, or I'm sorry, 8 inches by 8 inches by 16 inches. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit OK again. I'm now going to go ahead and make my wall. So the base constraint is already on basement. The top constraint, I'm going to link that. I'm going to have it go up to level 1. I'm going to come up here to location line, and I want the finish face exterior. That way I can just go literally and choose my corners here. So I'm going to go around. Even if it's an irregularly shaped house, it'll do it. Now, if you got curves, we'll have to talk. That'll be a nightmare. But it's a nightmare we can take on. And I'm going to click this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead back to my 3D view. I'm going to hit modify so I don't keep laying walls down. 3D view, and you can see that I've now laid the concrete block wall underneath there. You're also going to notice that my wall extends up through the floor, the first floor. So I'm going to need to modify that. I'm going to click on this. I'll right click and hit select all instances in the view, and that now has all of those walls, and I'm going to do a top offset of negative 13.5 inches. So I have to hit the quotation mark so that it knows it's inches. I'm going to hit apply, and then you can see it's no longer running up through. In fact, 13.5 inches gives me this 1.5 inch gap. So it's 13.5 from this line. 1 foot of this is 11.25 of 2 by 12 and 3/4 inch decking on top. That leaves 1.5 inch gap, which will give me a 2 by 8 that's treated laying flat on there for a sill plate. Now, on the bottom of this, I have to have a footing. I don't just lay the blocks on the dirt. So I excavate that out, and I'm going to add a footing. To do that, I'm going to go to structure. I'm going to go to wall foundation. Isolated worked earlier, but it was no longer working in class, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to come over here and edit this type. That footing's a professional footing. It's a little bit more than what we would need. A typical footing width would be 16 inches, so I'm going to type 16 and then careful to hit the not the apostrophe, that would be feet. I'm going to hit the quotation mark, which is 2 ticks, meaning inches. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to make it 8 inches thick. 8 and then quotation marks. You've got to speculate that, and notice it took 16 inches and made it 1 foot 4 inches. I'm going to hit OK. And now all I have to do is go around touching these walls, and I have to touch every one of them. But you can see what it's doing if I come over here and take a careful look. It is adding that structure under there. So I'm going to go ahead and click there. So now I have a basement. If I'm going to go ahead and hit modify, and take out my first floor so you can see down in. So right now I have a dirt floor in my basement. Used to be a thing, but now we will cast a slab. So we'll add a concrete floor to the basement floor. So if I come over here now, I should have a basement view. If I'm on floor plan, it should give me an outline. So now I'll add a floor to that, where I will go to architecture and floor, and then typically your basement floor is going to be a concrete floor, which I'm going to have to make because I don't want it on a wooden deck. So I'll actually separate this video and I'll go over how to add a floor. Right now I'm going to do a concrete on a deck and lay it out so you can see one go in there. It'll be a concrete finish, but we wouldn't actually do that. I'm going to go ahead and I'll save. I'll save. Demo Basement 1 worked. I'm just calling it demo. And save. Yep. Yep. Alright, so that's going on there, save. So now if I go to my 3D view, I can look down in there and you can see there's concrete on top. Now I will go through and edit type and get rid of the metal deck, and I would typically do a 4-inch pour of concrete with rebar like we did for our shed. Okay.